The 10% ring was a name coined by the editors of the Tombstone epitaph in 1881, referring to Johnny Behan and his associates for skimming roughly 10% of Tombstone, Arizona's local taxes during the 1880s. Another important player in the 10% ring was Milt Joyce, the owner of the Oriental Saloon and head of the Cochise County Board of Supervisors. John Clum established the Tombstone epitaph in 1880. The newspaper detailed corruption allegations against Johnny Behan, who served as the sheriff of Cochise County. During his time as sheriff, Behan was responsible for collecting taxes from activities like prostitution, gambling, liquor sales, and theaters. He received 10% of all the taxes he collected as part of his salary. This led to widespread talk around town about the political graft and corruption linked to the sheriff. Many saw Behan as the leader of the 10% ring and a close associate of the outlaw Cochise County Cowboys. Others implicated in the ring included Artemus Fay, the owner of Tombstone's first newspaper, the Tombstone Weekly Nugget, published from 1879 to 1882, and Harry Wood, who wrote for the Weekly Nugget and served as Behan's undersheriff. Besides pocketing tax funds, the 10% ring was involved in election fraud and aiding the Cochise County Cowboys in their illegal activities. Behan was so focused on collecting taxes that he turned a blind eye to crime. Virgil Earp was named Tombstone City Marshal shortly after Behan was chosen sheriff, and his brothers Wyatt and Morgan Earp were designated as special deputy police officers. Tensions quickly rose between Behan and the Earps, as Behan sided with the outlaw Clanton and McClory families. After the gunfight at the OK Corral and Morgan Earp's murder, Behan made no effort to track down Morgan's killers. Instead of pursuing justice for Morgan, Behan issued warrants for U.S. Marshal Virgil Earp and Wyatt Earp, accusing them of killing outlaws. On January 31, 1882, Behan was arrested for collecting $300 in bills twice, but he was brought before Justice Stilwell and released due to a legal technicality. In November 1882, Behan lost his bid for re-election as sheriff and never served as a lawman again. He later rose to the rank of warden of the Yuma Territorial Prison and held a number of other government jobs before his death in 1912. Milt Joyce left Tombstone in 1883. On October 10, 1880, he and Doc Holliday were involved in a shootout at the Oriental Saloon. Joyce passed away in 1889 at the age of 42 in San Francisco, where he had owned the Baldwin Billiard Parlor starting in 1883 and later ran the Café Royal. Harry M. Woods, a Union veteran who served with the Pennsylvania Infantry, relocated from Tombstone to Nogales, Arizona, where he worked as a tax collector until he passed away in 1896. After leaving the Weekly Nugget, which was destroyed in the Great Fire of 1882 and never reopened, Artemus Fay went on to work at the Nugget Mine in Dos Cabezas and launched a short-lived paper called the Go Note. Following the death of his wife, Fay moved to Flagstaff, where he established another newspaper.